MdDS syndrome is usually defined by a very specific starting line. You step off a cruise ship or a long flight, and the world refuses to stop rocking. But some people wake up with that exact same violent, relentless sensation of being tossed about on rough seas, without ever having set foot on a boat, a plane, or a train. If that describes your experience, your search for answers has likely felt incredibly isolating. Because mainstream medical discourse and support groups focus almost entirely on motion triggers, the spontaneous patient often feels like an outsider. It raises a difficult question. If this condition is defined by an external ride, does waking up with it on solid ground mean you're dealing with a completely different, undiscovered neurological break? Clinical profiling suggests that while the entry points are different, the destination is identical. Both cohorts share the same symptoms and respond to the same recovery strategies because they aren't in different medical rooms, they just use different doors to get inside. To understand how two different paths lead to the same result, we have to look at how the central nervous system tracks movement. Deep within your brainstem and cerebellum sits a specialized neural network that functions as the brain's gyroscope. This velocity storage integrator acts like a biological momentum battery, smoothing your perception of motion. In classic MdDS, it adapts to a boat's rhythm, but on solid land it fails to switch off, getting stuck in C mode. We often blame the boat for this glitch, but millions of people step onto ships and planes every day without their internal gyroscope breaking. Research shows that the individuals who develop MdDS often carry a baseline vulnerability, such as high allostatic stress loads or a central migraine diathesis, before they ever board a vessel. The boat isn't the root cause. It's an external physical catalyst that pushes an already overloaded, hyperreactive system over the edge. In spontaneous MdDS, you don't need an external ride to flip that switch. Instead, an internal neurological surge, like a severe migraine, intense stress, or a viral illness, reaches that same critical threshold on its own. This internal glitch tricks the velocity storage integrator into the same stuck state. The gyroscope generates a continuous stream of noise. Crucially, your inner ear organs remain perfectly healthy and intact. Regardless of the trigger, the condition is a central processing error. It is a software glitch generating a false internal velocity signal that the brain genuinely believes is real. When the world feels like it's swaying, it's a natural reflex to lock your eyes and stiffen your neck to fight the motion. While this feels like a survival strategy, it actually reinforces visual dependency. This keeps the nervous system on high alert and locks the maladaptive software glitch in place. Recovery requires breaking this cycle. The first step of treatment often involves intentionally inducing visual vection to create a top-down disruption of the corrupted internal program. Standard balance exercises that focus only on the feet or simple eye tracking usually don't provide enough high-fidelity data to override a trapped integrator. To reset the system, we have to bypass the false visual signals and activate the body's largest and most undeniable sensory network. This multi-segmental anchor utilizes the dense network of mechanoreceptors spanning your spine, torso, and limbs to provide an absolute reference point. By applying firm tactile pressure, we flood the nervous system with predictable information from the physical world. This influx of somatic data gives the brain high-fidelity confirmation that the body is in fact stationary. When this undeniable data pairs with signals from your healthy inner ears, the brain has the evidence to reconcile the sensory mismatch. This multi-system input overrides the false internal signal, allowing the gyroscope to reset. If you have spontaneous MdDS, you aren't dealing with a mysterious separate illness. Your nervous system simply adopted a faulty strategy due to an internal glitch rather than an external ride. Because the underlying pathways are the same, you don't have to settle for being left out of the conversation. We can support your central nervous system, optimize your sensory balance, and coordinate a clear, scientifically validated path back to solid ground.